Hello and welcome to XVD Bibles. My name is Ethan. So today I have my 51st Rebind to share with everyone. And this Rebind is unique in a couple ways. So first and foremost, it's in a leather that I've never worked with before. So this is Horween Bison leather. And secondly, this is a little bit unique. This order is a little bit unique because this person actually ordered a matching journal cover in the same leather as the Bible Rebind. So I wanted to showcase these two items here today because this is a good example of the type of cool products that I can make for everyone upon request. So I can start with the Bible. So this Bible is an ESV Heritage, one of the single column Bibles, really popular Rebind candidate text block. I think it was Tim Wildsmith's, in a number of Tim Wildsmith's videos for, some of the best text blocks to get rebound. So this is a Rebind of that text block. So this, the dye that I put on the pages here is called, the color is called Tea Rose, Ranger Tea Rose. And it's a great color. It looks a little bit more salmon or kind of pinkish in person. On my camera, it looks a little bit orange, but it looks more kind of flesh colored, maybe a little bit pinkish in person. So this customer requested that. I did a black lambskin liner on this Bible. Black Hollander's end sheets. I did a generous yap. So not touching in the middle, but still, you got plenty of yap here. When I say like generous yap, quote unquote, to me, that just means more than my standard yap, which is 3/8 of an inch, and less than a full yap. So not touching in the middle. And on thicker Bibles like this, I tend to do a little bit closer to a full yap than on a Bible, like a thin line Bible, if I was doing a generous yap on a thin line Bible. So I generally just try to gauge it based off of the thickness of the block. Because, I figured if a customer is wanting a full yap, they'll ask for a full yap. And if they ask for a generous yap, they definitely don't want a full yap. So yeah, that's kind of my rationale there. So I did dark brown stitching on this cover with a Yap tool line around the outside, which turned out great on this leather. This Horween Bison has a little bit of a pull-up, so you can kind of see that there, along the Yap line. So really, really interesting leather. I showed this leather and this cover when it was a work in progress in a recent video, but here it is finished. So I mentioned in that other video that this Horween Bison has a really nice feel to it. It's softer than you would think. Like looking at this leather and how grainy it is and kind of how rustic it looks, you'd think that it's you'd think that this leather is very firm, very rough feeling, but in reality, it's actually pretty supple and pretty smooth. And I think it feels great. So I did my normal hubs here. I did 5 raised hubs. And this person requested no branding, but a blind stamped spine with no branding. So I was happy to oblige there. I like how symmetrical, this Bible looks, the spine of this Bible. Because when I was, planning out the hubs for this, I just measured, down from the yap line here for the first hub and then up from the yap line for the bottom hub. So these distances look really symmetrical and really the same. So if I was doing my X5 branding here, I would have put just a little bit more space down here for that. So this leather blind stamps just so well, which I was very happy about. I really nice, deep, crisp stamping on this. I was having a good bit of issues foil stamping this. I was doing some experimenting, but thankfully the customer wanted blind stamping. So, I love doing blind stamping because it's so much less stressful than foil stamping. With foil stamping, you have to worry about foil consistency and, the number of layers of foil that you do and everything like that. And doing blind stamping is just carefree by comparison. So yeah, really like how this one turned out. I can go ahead and show some of the corners here. Thought the corners on this one turned out pretty well. I've been doing, tool marks along my liner to make sure my foldovers are more consistent, and that's been a great way to do it. So really happy with that. So this person added a journal cover to her order, which is pretty awesome. So I ended up being able to give her a pretty good price on this journal cover here. I essentially gave her, all of the labor that I did on this for free, and just ended up charging her just for the leather. I'm able to do that and make sense of that in kind of from a business standpoint, because I ended up getting a little bit of extra leather in that process, and I'm able to turn that leather around for a non-commission project. So if there's anyone out there who wants a journal cover made by me and they're already on my wait list for a Bible rebind, I can do a matching journal cover for you at just the cost of the leather, which is pretty great. So for this lady, I think the journal cover ended up only being like an extra $65, which is, 2 square feet of Horween Bison would end up being. It would be even cheaper for something like Badalassi Carlo. And these are really simple covers. I just size them for whatever insert you would want. So this lady, she uses, she really likes Midori MD A5 notebooks, and I already had one of those on hand, so I was able to size this for her, no issue. And I just do, a simple chamfering here in order to really easily insert it insert the journal book into the cover. So, I do a waxed stitched perimeter all the way around, obviously. I do burnish the edges with Tokonol. And, depending on what type of leather you have, the edges finish a little bit differently depending. So, on a chrome tan leather like this, I'm not able to get like really shiny edges, but, on a Badalassi Carlo, that I can definitely do that for you. So if you are already on my wait list and you want to get a journal cover, we can definitely talk about it. We can figure out a size of journal that works well for you, and I can add that to your order, no problem. So this is like kind of my first stationery ex fide Bibles and stationery product kind of out there in the wild, which is pretty cool and exciting for me. So I'm really enthusiastic about doing more of these journal covers and even taking stationery related commissions in the future as well. I have an old friend who wants a Bible armor case for one of his Bibles, and I'm going to be making one of those here in a couple months with some spare time. I hopefully will have soon. So I'm going to be making more products, other than Bible covers here coming up soon, and I'll definitely be showcasing those if anyone out there is interested in purchasing them. So again, thank you for watching. Again, this is Bible Rebind number 51, the ESV Heritage in Horween Chromexcel Bison with a matching journal cover. Thank you for watching. My name is Ethan from Ex Fide Bibles.